was quite caught up in the hype of the Two Oceans Marathon. Never done anything close to that. I mean, I think the furthest I had run at that time was maybe 5 or 6 Ks. Anyways, we made an appointment with my orthopedic surgeon, and I said to him, I want to run the Two Oceans Half Marathon, what do you think? And of course he didn't advise for it, he advised against it. It was the most amazing day. I completed it in a time of 2 hours 46, I think. Of course I was in pain the next day, but that's when it clicked. I thought, I can now run 21 Ks. What else can I do? What other boundary can I push? And in 2019, went back to Durban, made an appointment with my orthopedic surgeon, and I said to him, I want to do a full marathon, which is a 42.2 kilometer race. Of course, again, he didn't advise for it, he advised against it, but he knew at this time there was nothing that he could say that would actually stop me. I entered this thing, and I was definitely undercooked because I couldn't train high mileage, because the higher mileage I trained, the worse pain I would actually experience the next day or even straight after training. But I did the Cape Town Marathon. I ended up finishing that race, but I damaged myself so badly, and I thought, that's it, I'll never run again. This was a silly idea. What the hell is wrong with me? But in 2021, I had another operation, and obviously the same doctor operated on me, and I will never ever forget this moment. I was wheeled into theatre, and I said to him, Dr. Stead, I'm going to do the Comrades Marathon next year. And he sort of turned around, and he was obviously very frightened with what he had heard, but again, there was nothing that he could say that would change my mind, and he knew it. And I said to him, the next time you see me, I will have a Comrades medal around my neck. Now, as I said, I couldn't do that high mileage because the high mileage would bring about so much discomfort and pain. So we had to really think of ways to combat that. And one of the ways that we did this was to jump on the watt bike. And we did a lot of watt bike sessions. And we actually looked back at the stats. I think I did about 78% of training on the watt bike, and the rest was purely running. Every day was massaging, strapping, figuring out how to sort of minimize that pain. And the one thing that really worked for me is getting into a moon boot. That was the only way that my foot could decompress, because the act of me even walking was painful. It was impact, and that's what my foot didn't want. And the moon boot just allowed it to relax a little bit, and it allowed me to recover in time for the next training session. You know, going through the training, it was so uncomfortable, it was so painful. Having these people come up to me and saying, I'm inspired, I'm motivated, really gave me an even more of an invested interest in what I was doing. And it really motivated me and pushed me to the start line of the Comrades Marathon. It was honestly just the greatest day. It was surreal. I kept on telling myself, is this actually happening? Oh my word, it's been months and months of training and months of discomfort and months of pain, and I'm finally here, and I'm feeling so ready and I'm feeling so motivated. The gun went off and we started running, and I kept on telling my running partner, holy moly, I can't believe we are actually here. What the hell? We are here, we are doing this. I said it out loud. He said, Sean, geez, you know, we are here, just, I get it, we are here. But I kept on saying it. And yeah, it was just an unreal day, and I remember saying to Simon, I'm going to run with a smile on my face the entire way. And I put the smile on my face, and it did not leave me. It really didn't. And I was really soaking up the energy, because what I actually had to do is, before the race, and I told my dad, I told my running partner, that I'm going to be the most engaging runner with the crowd, because that's going to distract me from the discomfort I was in. And that's exactly, I became a woogle. I was woohoo this, woohoo that, high-fiving, hugging. It was just so happy. It was a day filled with positivity. I remember about on the 60K mark, I had a small little cramp in my glute, in my bad leg. And that was the first time that the smile actually withered away, because there was this a little bit of panic, because if I'm going to start cramping now on 60 Ks, it's going to be a very, very difficult race to get to the finish in this kind of pain. And so I did a couple of stretches, sorted myself out, and I just said, Sean, put that behind you. And it disappeared. The cramping never came back. It was 5 minutes of cramping at the 60K mark, and it never came back. And I was so grateful and so lucky. Coming down Fields Hill was an actual breeze. I saw my mom and my brother at the bottom, and that gave me a little bit more oomph to go up Cowie's Hill. And that's where it started getting a little bit difficult, because by now it was a hell of a long day. I think I was about 9 or 10 hours in, but I knew that my doctor was on the top of Cowie's Hill. And running up, I was sort of keeping a lookout and making sure I could see him, because I really didn't want to miss him. This was a great opportunity. And I saw him looking on his phone. He was obviously tracking me, and I shouted out, "Doctor's dead, doctor's dead." And it was just such a great moment. I ran up to him, I gave him a big hug. I said, "I told you so." And I mean, I can't remember what he said because I was just so involved with the moment. But I continued after that, and that gave me a little bit of extra oomph, and saw all my school friends, my dad, my girlfriend in Westville. And that really was fantastic. They were chanting, and it was just such a great time. And I really realized just how special my friends are. You know, they'd been there all day waiting for me to come through, and they just had so much gees and so much excitement when I did. After that point, I had about 12 Ks to go, and that's where things got really, really difficult, and I could feel my smile sort of withering away. About 3 Ks to go, I could see Moses Mabhida, and I could actually feel something in my foot was giving way. I don't know what it was to this day, but there was a click in my ankle, it was a muscle. I don't know what it was, but it was just clicking and clicking, and I thought, oh no, here we go. But I mean, I'm going to finish. But I might have hurt myself quite badly here. But anyways, forgot about that and came into the finish line. And I remember running in and just looking around me and being like, oh my gosh, this is what I've envisioned for the last 8-9 months. And it's finally here. I'm going to finish. I've got 15 minutes left on the clock, and we're going to do it. And running in, saw my family, saw my girlfriend, and I just went absolutely crazy. I couldn't believe it, fist bumping. And I think once I finished, I said to my running partner, I am 100% going to do that again next year, because that was, quite honestly, the greatest experience of my life. I remember making an appointment with a doctor here in Joburg, who's actually a very renowned biokineticist. And he said, Sean, look, let's go for x-rays. I want to x-ray your hip, your pelvis and your knee, just to see what's up and what's giving you pain. And we went for these x-rays, and we found what looks like early onset osteoarthritis in my hip and definite biomechanical or mechanical damage to the knee. And he said, Sean, look, running, I know you've been told this, but running is really, really not something that you should be doing. This is going to really give you serious problems. And I was distraught because I couldn't wait to do the Comrades again. But I knew that this is not about pushing boundaries. It's about taking a step backwards and looking at yourself and understanding that your body is only capable of so much. I knew though, I could not stop. I needed to do something else because I wanted to continue motivating. I wanted to keep on inspiring. And what I'd learned throughout this journey is that I was creating so much disability awareness that I could not stop right then and there. We thought of the idea of, why don't you cycle from Johannesburg to Cape Town over 8 consecutive days? Once you get to Cape Town, swim from Robben Island to Big Bay. And I toyed with this idea and I thought, this is bloody brilliant. I like it. It's defying the odds. It's a massive challenge and it's a massive obstacle. It's definitely going to raise disability awareness, but I wanted to take it one step further. I wanted to make an impact on someone else's life, someone who has struggled with a disability, and I wanted to ensure that his disability is by no means a barrier to his own successes. I thought there's no better person to do this challenge for than James. For me, he really resonated with me because throughout his life, he's had to adapt. He's had to be flexible in his approaches. He's a para swimmer as well, which of course resonated with me. And so I had no doubt that this was the guy that I was going to do this challenge for.